I know I probably shouldn't say this, but just between you and me, sometimes I feel like queer joy is just a big flipping scam. It seems like everywhere I turn, be it in adverts in magazines, reality TV shows, interviews on red carpets, in the fronts of novels, graffitied on bathroom cubicle doors, or tattooed in pastel colours on the shoulders of fashionable twinks and trans it girls lined up to get into a club in Dalston, queer joy is the new thing. And if you're not feeling it, well then there must be something wrong with you, you miserable old scabby bitch. I used to think queer joy was a good thing. I used to have Pink News's Queer Joy Alert set up to update me every 30 minutes to ensure I never missed a single headline about how Elliot Page's new beanie hats are inspiring us, or, wow, look at this photo of Pedro Pascal's life-affirming lunch, it's lifting us through the week. But you know what, I had to turn them off recently because they're starting to make me feel like I want a Ralph Chunks all over my laptop keyboard. And look, it's not that I'm not proud of being queer or trans. I am. I'm not ashamed of it, not even slightly. It's not like I'm trying to keep it a secret or anything. The queer cat is out of the queer bag and there's no getting it queer back in. I guess I just don't value joy highly as an emotion. Like, to my mind, joy is just something that evangelical Christians feel when the Holy Spirit moves inside them, which is a bit queer if you think about it. To me, joy is a feeling reserved for the enraptured, for those who have it all figured out. Although I will admit that queer joy is a great name for a drag queen, so if you're on the lookout for one of those, feel free to use that. Oh, look, it's queer joy! And I get why people want to express queer joy. Like, I get why a trans woman would feel queer joy from being gendered correctly, or a non-binary person would feel queer joy from someone complimenting their Lucy and Yak dungarees. Like, it's a personal thing, and it's different for everybody, I know. I'm not against it, okay? I'm not some big, gross, evil monster, but I do find the pursuit of queer joy to be kind of a nebulous thing that does seem to have just, like, taken over in the mainstream queer discourse. You've seen it, it's the focus of fashion magazines, or it's brought up in interviews as an end goal for our community, and I don't know, I don't think being happy is what it's all about. Any sort of media that comes out now that is about the queer community always has to be safely positioned within the framework of queer joy, and I think the reason for that is because it makes straight people feel better. You know the kind of straight people I'm talking about. They read The Guardian and they cry watching Drag Race. And I can see why there's a need for some queer joy. As things get worse and worse for queer people in society and more rights become threatened or taken away, it makes perfect sense that our community would want a bit of positive news here and there. I don't begrudge anyone their feel-good Pedro Pascal puff pieces. But at what point does queer joy become queer delusion? Like, is it really good for us to pretend that things don't look dire right now? As I say this, I know how I come across. A downer, a big old Debbie Downer sourpuss, a negative, nasty cow who needs to just chill the hell out and maybe, I don't know, take some weed gummies or something. Maybe that's true, maybe I am a big Debbie Downer, although I promise I am much more fun in person. But if I'm being honest, I just get a bit worried about the lack of pragmatic, realistic conversations about, and most importantly, from our community in the mainstream. As a queer trans woman myself, I don't want society to think I'm alright. I don't want anyone getting it twisted and thinking that things can just go along down this road we're going down now, because a lot of us are not feeling joy at the moment. And yes, I love the new Lady Gaga album Mayhem, it's really, really good. But I'm also worried that I might not be around for the next Gaga album after that. A few months ago, I decided to come off my antidepressants. I don't know why I decided to do it, and I did it unsafely without any medical observation. It was daft, and I don't advise you do anything like that yourself. I'm just prone to moments of irrational, knee-jerk impulsivity on account of being a big stupid dummy. Some people call it charm, my boyfriend calls it deeply worrying. If I think about it, I think the reason why I decided to come off what is a pretty high dose of sertraline that I have been on for 10 solid years was because a part of me was terrified and despairing at the state of the world, but another slightly bigger part of me felt like I had a responsibility to myself to look upon everything that was going on with a clear, high definition point of view. As I say, it was a terrible decision and I was wrong. If you're the type of person, like me, who finds queer joy difficult to access, I'm telling you, now probably isn't the ideal time to experiment with unmedicated clarity. In the exact same way that I'm happy to get my hormonal fix artificially, I am more than happy to find my joy that way as well. Anyway, I'm glad to tell you that I'm back on my medication now, and it's giving queer numbness, honey, girl. So yeah, listen, in conclusion, I guess, get your joy wherever you can find it. I don't begrudge anybody queer joy, but can we just be a little bit less cringe about it? If you are feeling joy, euphoria, or glee right now, I'm pleased for you, but also I have no idea what planet you're living on, because I don't see much of it. Optimism in such uncertain times is valuable, and I hope that I feel it again soon. Even if that means I have to increase my sertraline dose, like I'll do that. I will go as high as they will let me.